See our race analysis. First two stages, 45 laps, then a 110-lap run to the end. Competition caution lap 20. And row one, all about Joe Gibbs Racing. Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones, both drivers on a run, a top fives. The pole sitter Hemrick takes the inside lane. We are off and rolling in the desert.
There we see it immediately, Daniel, straight to the bottom. All the dust coming off the cars as they go down here into turn one, sliding into the PJ already, right into that traction compound.
Wasting no time, the 22, man.
Cindric won the championship here in November with a move similar on the final lap to what we saw on the opening lap here. Starts on the second row, but he leads lap one.
You know, and I love that you go barreling off into the first corner, 3 wide, with no practice. Nobody knows what their car's going to do. As you see cars slide up into the corner, nobody knows. You're just out there trying to figure out what you can and can't do, but you don't have time to be patient. You have to go and attack because the cars are all in front of you. That's the moment where you can pass them most quickly.
Definitely. I have always thought that the restarts are probably the easiest way to either gain or lose positions, and the 22 has done a great, incredible job right there to take advantage of what you were talking, Joy. You know, just cutting the dog leg and taking advantage of corner 1 and 2 and gaining some good momentum on exit of 2.
Harrison Burton driving that 20 car. He's in the 5th position inside of Justin Haley, one of the drivers a part of the championship for when we raced here just about 4 months ago.
You see everyone down there in 3 and 4. Everyone's staying out of the awesome sauce right now. Everyone's probably just getting a little timid of it the first time you get up in it. Because there's times where you think it's just automatic grip, but it takes a little bit to clean up and activate to get that traction compound where it needs to be. And you see AJ's hanging on right there in the beginning, and you're getting 3 wide down into this corner.
I totally agree with that, Joy, especially right now that obviously the weather is not super hot and it's been super windy, which means that the special sauce that you call the it's full of sauce right now. So it's gonna take a few laps to exactly.
Not many takers, and if you're wondering where the traction compound is, it's easy to figure out. Just look at the color differential on the track, and we spoke about it in the open. Things are going to get aggressive, 3 wide, and Gregson not afraid to stick his nose in the middle of it in that 9 car.
And no surprise there, right, Adam? We've seen that all year long in the Xfinity Series. Noah Gregson, very exciting to watch, for sure. He is definitely getting after it.
Allmendinger went from 4th to 7th at the start.
Done at 8 car cutting off these. I'm done with that 8 car cutting us off, Frankie, just FYI.
And we'll identify him, the 8 car, Josh Berry, driving for Dale Jr., back-to-back top 10s on the 1.5 miles. And this is a place where this late model standout was really excited about racing because of the short track feel. And Regan talked about him in the open. Here's Justin Allgaier getting inside of Brandon Brown for the 11th position.
And I would say this is one of Justin's best racetracks. As you see right there, 2 wins, 8 top 5s. He's been able to be very successful out west here, especially at this racetrack. And he's very good at Richmond as well. And there is some similarities. As much different as it can possibly be, there's also some similarities to Richmond, and you see Justin run well there.
But Allgaier, a great veteran, off to a slow start. Average finish over 26 in the first 4 races. How do you get your confidence back when it slips a little bit, Daniel?
I think you can never count a guy that has the experience that Justin has, especially when it comes to Phoenix, like you guys were talking. You know, I have raced with him in the past, and I really think that we have to pay attention on that Chevy Camaro in the second half of the race, especially in the long run. I really believe that his experience is going to come to life for the long runs.
That's what makes him so good here. He can drive it through the field, and he's good over the long haul. There's his teammate Josh Berry. Austin Cindric leading this thing early on in Phoenix. safe to say Austin Cindric has picked up today where he left off in November. This is the overtime finish in the championship race. You win the race, you win the title. And he was incredible in the last couple of laps. I don't care. If you win a championship, you always earn it. But he definitely had to roll up his sleeves and got it done. One of his 6 wins in 2020. Won the season opener this year, has not been outside the top 5 in 4 races, and he's led the first 15 laps today. And guys, we're 5 laps away from a competition caution, so everybody hopefully getting a feel for what their race car is doing.
And this is always a tough situation. As you see the 5 here, it looks like it may have blown up, which is very unfortunate to come all the way out west and have a motor blow up. It was a long trip all the way out here for these teams to make these last couple races, Vegas and Phoenix here. But yes, back to adjusting the race car. The first run always seems like the track is going through its biggest transitions as well. So giving that feedback to your crew chief, the first run is sometimes, I feel like it's skewed. I feel like it might not be the cleanest of reads. There's too many different variables. It's hard to make a big adjustment. Unless your car is way, way off, sometimes it's best just to let it ride for a run and see what you got. But that's hard to do. That's easy for me to say when we're running a cup race and it's longer. A short race, Daniel, you know how it is. You really don't have the opportunity to wait. You only got 3 sets of tires in the box.
Yeah, you have to go, and there is no time. And actually, you know, I've been paying attention to the 7, of Allgaier, and he's been going. He's wasting no time. He knows that he has a competition caution coming in lap 20, and he's been taking advantage of those tires and trying to make as much ground as possible.
But Joe, you said it. 3 sets of tires in the pits. Competition caution at lap 20. You know you're likely going to pit stage in lap 45 and then, you know, around lap 90 whenever we get to the end of stage 2. You got to have a set for that final stage. Likely, unless your car's running really, really bad, you're not going to pit at the competition caution. And look at Ty Gibbs from 27th to 16th. You talk about impressive. I remind you, he's 18 years old.
And he barely even looks like that.
yeah, 18 going on 15 and driving like he's 35.
Yeah, I would really pay a lot of attention to Ty in the second half of the race, because right now he's just getting to know the car and getting to know everything.
Yeah, pretty much everybody up front, starting to put right sides up in the juice. Some of them are all 4 in the juice, both ends. Through 3 and 4, kind of up through that higher line in the juice.
Okay, we call it traction compound. Some people call it the awesome sauce. Others call it the juice. Evidently, yeah, that was
juice.
That was Ty Gibbs' radio. We understand there was a problem for Jesse Little in the 78, and we'll monitor his progress as we have hit the competition caution. And tough start to the day for B.J. McLeod and his group. Matt Mills in the 5 and now the 78 of Jesse Little. We'll step aside. First caution of the day. Austin Cindric leading the way in Phoenix. An action-packed documentary about the triumph and tragedy of NASCAR legends Dale Earnhardt and Michael Waltrip. It's the greatest racing story ever told. Blink of an eye, making its television debut, and it comes your way next on FS1. Amazing. It's been 20 years since Michael won the Daytona 500 and we lost Dale Earnhardt. We'll recount that story with blink of an eye when we're done here in Phoenix. We had a few takers on pit road and a few stories developing in the race, so let's check in with Jamie.
And Justin Haley in the 11 has done a nice job hanging on to a top 5 spot because his car has been very uncomfortable.
I mean, it truly feels like the rotors are really warped. I mean, just riding around here, the whole car is just violently shaking. I'm just dragging, braking it right here.
He said it's just been miserable, and they told him, all right, we'll get the car better for you so you can get on the gas more, but we can't fix that shake in the car.
Now, I will say this. I feel at times like Haley is the boy that cried wolf, right? I mean, he talks about the car's not where it needs to be, and then he goes out and passes 4 or 5 guys on the next restart, so we'll have to keep an eye on him.
And, you know, what he's talking about there is a brake pulsation. And a lot of times, you know, you feel this when your foot's on the brake, obviously, and you feel it just shake the whole car. It'll shake to where you can't really even see very well. And a lot of times, it's actually from cooling the brakes too much. They get really hot, really quick in the corner entry, but you have these longer straightaways here where it cools them off a lot too, and it's just going through too much of a temperature swing.
Totally agree with that, Joey. I was about to mention that the cooling is super important, and probably something that will help that team is just to add a little bit of tape in the brake in the brake ducts, just to try to keep the brakes warmer, and probably that shake will go away.
We're going to get the one to go here, so these drivers will choose their restart lane, and as they do that, we check in with Regan.
Well, Adam Daniel just talked about adding tape to the brakes to keep those warmer. A little bit different situation in the 22 car of Austin Cindric. He's actually asking for some tape for the windshield or for his visor because, as you can see right now, the sun is out. It hasn't been out all day long. Now that sun is out, there's an issue going down the backstretch for these drivers being able to see as they get into turn 3.
Oh, yeah, you got to see, too, huh?
The spotter can't do it all, right? You know, it's interesting is we do the choose rule and in play for the first time here today. Austin Cindric started this race in 3rd and dove down to the inside to get the lead. Now he's the leader, takes the outside lane for the restart. What do you guys think there?
Well, I mean, this choose rule has really thrown in a whole new wrench into everybody's plans when it comes to restarts. There's so much that goes into what lane you choose. And here I do have to say, I think the top lane is the lane that's going to be preferred, especially as you go back into the 6th, 8th place ranges. But, hey, if you can gain a row or 2 by going to the bottom, I don't know, Daniel, what do you think? You probably take it.
I take it. I feel like at this point in the race, it's very early. They are playing around. They're seeing what works, what doesn't work, and they're going to learn. we see what happens.
Under 20 laps to go as we get the restart. Front row, Cindric and Hemrick. Let's listen in to the 22. The spotter there, Coleman Presley.
Half off you, still there, quarter. Inside quarter, half bumper. Barely bumper, dropping. Inside just 1, half behind him. 1 to you. Inside even, door. Still there, door. Half speed, lane, still there. Quarter, bumper, already clear. 19 might get clear. He's 1 behind. You're clear, side by 1. You're clear. 2 back.
You know, and you saw on that restart there, off of turn 2 is where that top lane prevails. It's not the entry, it's not going down the front straightaway. It's all about the exit and keeping that momentum down the back straightaway as he cleared him, because Hemrick was right with him in the middle of the corner. As you hear the spotter Coleman, you know, talking about that right underneath him, but that momentum off the high side, man, you can't compete with that.
Yeah, and I want to be honest with you, Joe. I had some doubts on that because obviously the traction compound is a little bit cold right now, so I had some doubt that it was going to work right away, but it did for the 22, and maybe that's something to put in the notes for the future.
And Brandon Jones was in that outside lane as well. He jumps up to 2nd. Gibbs' car is running 2nd to 4th right now. And watch Noah Gregson in the 9. He's working the high side off the corner.
He kept some momentum. He's going to try to clear to 7 and get to the bottom. I tell you, like my amigo said here, it's all about the restarts, getting as many as you can.
And speaking of picking up positions, Here comes Justin Allgaier. He is so comfortable at this racetrack from 12th to 5th since the start of this thing.
This is what I like, turn 3 here. This is almost a game of chicken. You're trying to, get in there as hard as you can to stay underneath the car, but if that guy puts it on your door, you're going to be hanging on. And here comes Haley on the top, just waiting to pounce, waiting for that momentum to change. Which lane do I want to go? Trying to figure out which lane's going to move forward to try to follow through and pass the car.
You talk about going in opposite directions. Allmendinger in the 16 going backwards. The Toyota on board, that's Ty Gibbs. Started this race 27th. He might be in the top 10 by the end of stage 1. That's a major statement when you consider how difficult it is to pass here.
And absolutely, and Joe Gibbs Racing has an amazing record at Phoenix Raceway. I mean, they win a lot
for him.
Yes, they've won a lot. Now, that being said, Ty is obviously his first time here, and one of these things with no practice. So you got to give him a little bit of grace, and he is plugging through this field pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job. And something that I have noticed is that now that they have older tires with a refire, the traction compound, Joey and Adam, is working way, way better than before, just because they have less grip and they're using that to their advantage.
Yes, these are all on old tires here, 100%.
Yeah, just in front of Ty Gibbs, the 02 of Brett Moffitt. Also Michael Annette up there trying to get in the top 10. Cindric, Jones, Harrison, Burton, Hemrick, and Gregson the top 5. Inside of 10 laps to go for the Xfinity Series at Phoenix. Everybody wants stage points in top left. That's Michael Annette trying to get 10th away from the 2 of Myatt Snyder. And Ty Gibbs had a front row seat for all this action. And we mentioned the struggles for A.J. Allmendinger. He's back to 14th. Riley Herbst, who's had 3 DNFs in 4 races this year, coming from 29th and trying to pick up another spot. What's up with Allmendinger, Jamie?
Yeah, last week's winner started this race fourth. He's already lost 10 positions. AJ has not raced an Xfinity car here since 2008, so he told me there were a lot of unknowns. The new track configuration with the traction compound. Right now, I can tell you he's not a big fan of either. His car is too loose, and he's getting passed by these kids that you see him twitch right there.
Yeah, that car for Allmendinger, it looks like it's been out of control since lap 1. And the battle going on between the 16 and 98 of Riley Herbst is pretty fun to watch at this moment. There's been one-finger salutes out the window and some bumping and banging to go along with it. And we're only 4 laps to go into the first stage.
Hey, where I came from, that's not cool. I don't know here, but where I came from, that's not cool. But yeah, hopefully they can make some adjustments. We have to remember these guys are still with the original set of tires that they started the race, so they haven't made any adjustments. Hopefully they can make that 16 car a little bit better for the second run.
There is a window separating us. I want no one-finger salutes in the television booth. All right, guys?
I've seen Daniel fight here on pit road before. I don't want to get in the middle of that.
I'm not going to get in the middle of that either.
There were no finger salute there.
No. That was in a fist form.
We skipped that.
Ty Gibbs, you saw there get by Josh Berry. He's now worked his way into the top 10, and Austin Cindric continues his domination with just a couple of laps to go. In the stage, Brandon Jones should be talked about. He is second and trying to win back-to-back spring races in Phoenix, and so far so good. The 19 is solid.
Yeah, Brandon Jones has been very fast here the last few races, and we heard that in the pre-race a little bit about how confident he feels about this racetrack. And, I also look at that along with this lap traffic that they're all running through. Cindric, obviously a fast race car, clean air helps as well. But when you start getting to this lap traffic, they're going to be catching them so quickly. They're all going to be up in the juice, the awesome sauce, and you're going to have to move around. You're going to have to try to find a hole.
Yeah, I totally agree. Nobody wants to give that special sauce right now. There is a speed there, and every time that you get away from that, it's just not as fast. And those slow cars, they just want to stay in that traction compound. So
Austin Cindric back to the green and white checker flag. He wins the opening stage, and he's now won either the race or a stage in every event this year, batting 1,000 when it comes to scoring playoff points. Jones, Harrison, Burton, Gregson, Hemrick, the top 5. when you come west, you've got to take in all the sights. This is your teammate, Joey, Austin Cindric.
This Regan looks like Ty's dad at the Little League game.
I swear, Ty stole Shaquille O'Neal's ball glove, didn't he? I mean, does that not look oversized? And I think Regan actually needs a chiropractor appointment.
Oh, yeah, definitely does.
Free pass under our second caution of the day goes to the 23 of Blaine Perkins, making his first career start, driving for Our Motorsports. And the caution is for the end of the stage, but right as the caution came out, Jesse Little crashed and is done for the day. And on the radio, he said he had a brake issue, and we'll pick it up right here, see what happened.
Oh, you see what happened. He went off in the corner and said, oh, no, I got no brakes. Went to the bottom. Nice move by backing it in. I know it's a hard wreck, but the softest way to crash is going in backwards, which I don't know if you meant to do that or not, but either way, what a horrible feeling when you go down. You use a lot of brake. That's a very flat corner right after the fastest straightaway on the front straightaway here at Phoenix. So not a fun feeling at all. It's not fun when you know you're about to wreck for a few seconds before you hit it. It's just not a good thing. So unfortunate for him for sure. Delay
in opening pit road because the crash happened right over near the entrance. And now our Ford Performance Track Facts. 8 different Ford drivers have won at Phoenix. Jeff Burton, the first to do it in 2000. His son Harrison racing here today. Austin, of course, got it done in the championship race. Joey, you're on that list, one of 4 different drivers to win here for the captain, Roger Penske, I believe.
I believe so, and Cindric is also off to a really good start here today. And if you saw in his hand there a second ago, that's his left side spot mirror. That thing was falling off before the race started, and I think he's trying to figure out a way to get that thing back on maybe during this pit stop. Maybe he'll hand it to somebody to help that along. But that's when you got to rely on your spotter a lot. You use that left side spot mirror quite a bit, especially on the restarts as you go 3-4 wide through the dog leg. You're going to rely on your spotter. He's got a good one up there at Coleman Presley. Daniel, you know what it's like to have him on your radio. He was your crew chief in the K&N days a long time ago.
Coleman is a great crew chief, a great spotter. Unfortunately for me, when I was working with him, my English wasn't that great. But yeah, here's how he got those issues with the mirror.
Yeah.
Now, he was doing some TV for the ARCA race last night. Maybe that mirror is just to make sure the makeup looks okay,
I try to make my mirror go away. I don't want to see it. It scares me to look in it.
Hey, as we ride under caution, we remind you of this. Tomorrow, don't miss your chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money. Download the Fox Bet Super 6 app, then correctly pick 6 outcomes in Clint's Stage 2 contest during the NASCAR Cup Series race. From right here at Phoenix, it's your shot to win 10 grand. It's free to play. Enter now for your shot. And Clint, going to be in the broadcast booth tomorrow with Mike Joy, Jeff Gordon. Coverage starts on FS1, 2 Eastern time, over to Fox at 3. And Clint will be in studio with us doing NASCAR Race Hub Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern time here on FS1. Good start to the day for Riley Herbst, up to 13th and in desperate need of a good run. Pit road is open, and I'm sure they all want to get down for service. Here they come, Jamie.
And a good start for the 20 of Harrison Burton. Gained a few spots in that opening stage. He comes into his pit box. He says he's fired off a little bit free overall. Pretty decent. Didn't want to take any major swings at it. They're pulling that tear off a 4-tire stop here. Let's go down pit road to Regan.
Well, the leader, Austin Cindric, the 22 car. That race car is pretty good right now. It keeps getting better. They told him to stop short. There's going to be a car coming around him at the end of his pit stop. Brandon Jones, second place. That car's got brake shake issues. He's not very happy with that. A little bit too loose on entry. And the 18 at Daniel Hemrick, upper right of your screen. That car's tight rolling. It means that the front end will not turn when he tries to turn the steering wheel. He burned up the right front on that car.
I think the drinking phrase today might be brake shake. And the race off pit road goes to Daniel Hemrick. Got that number 1 pit stall. He's up 3 positions. Brandon Jones, Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson. And a tough break for Austin Cindric, who drops 5 spots. Let's visit with our Stage 1 winner, Daniel.
Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez here, up here in the booth. Can you hear me?
Hola, amigo. How are you?
Hey, amigo, I'm watching you here. You know, you're doing a great job. Those restarts, you're great. Fast car in the short run, fast car in the long run. You're going to need it now because obviously you lost a few spots right there on the first pit stop. What are you thinking? What you got with your car? Do you think you can make it back up front?
Yeah, I think we've got a fast car shot Ford Mustang. Obviously, track position is the name of the game here, as you know, so to regain some of that with this white and pink car through the field. It's been fun so far. Still got a lot of laps ahead of us.
Sounds good, buddy. Long race. Keep it up. Have a fast hard run right there. Have fun, and we're going to be here watching. Good luck.
Awesome. Sounds good. Enjoy.
We mentioned the fact that he lost some positions on pit road. Big issues for the 19 of Brandon Jones. He was speeding. That means he drops to the rear. We go green when we return. Just about ready for stage 2 in Phoenix. Daniel Hemrick is the leader. We get today's pit performance sponsored by Mothers. And these numbers help us understand why the 18 is out front, Joey.
Well, all the way to the left, you see on the top, it says team. That's what it's all about when you come down pit road. The driver has a piece of it. The crew has a part of it as well. And that's what you see here. You see what Daniel Hemrick did a great job getting about a second and a half rolling down pit road. That's coming in and out of your box, rolling time, trying to maximize your speed. And then you see the team. They showed up when it needed to too, getting a couple seconds. And because of all that, you see Hemrick out here at the lead.
Hemrick's teammate Brandon Jones doing too good of a job. He was too fast, and he will start at the rear. And as we get the choose here for the restart, here's 19 radio.
Hit red. Got to remember that green. Oh, I'm struggling with that today. Did you hit red leaving the pits? Hit it at the line, last section. Yeah, 10-4. Okay. Yeah, section 20 is right at the end.
That's Brandon talking to his crew chief, Jeff Mendering. they'll have a lot of ground to make up when we go green in this second stage.
And what he's talking about there is on your tack, there's lights, and they're set for a certain speed. We don't have speedometers in these race cars, so you have to go off an RPM, and the way we've really been able to maximize it is have these lights set up to where you run. Everyone sets them up differently, but it sounds like for him, you don't want to hit a red light. That means you're going too fast. Maybe his green lights are where he needs to be in. So sounds like he just went a little bit too hard. And you can see the lights on his tack right there, right below his steering wheel, or in this case above his steering wheel a little bit. Those are the lights that he's looking at down pit road.
This pit road is super tricky because you have a straight line and then you have the corner, so you have to speed up in the corner. It's one of the most difficult ones that we have in the schedule.
And you got to find your pit stall and all that too.
On top of that,
it's hard.
Hemrick takes the outside lane for the restart. And we'll listen in as we return to the green flag in stage 2.
Stay. Line. Now all clear. He's protected on the bottom. That was one off of you. Inside 20, barely. Inside. Clear him. Inside. Inside 9. That's all right. Nice and smooth. He'll be hung down there. 1.5 off you.
Teammates racing for the lead. The 20 is Harrison Burton. He was second in this race a year ago. And I talked to him last night. He's not forgotten about that. Going across the dog leg, trying to get that top spot away from Hemrick. And the caution is out, third of the day. And this time it's for the 90 of Dexter Bean.
Have to wait and see what happened here. Gonna have to tie the old bumper cover back up there a little bit.
All 4 tires are up.
Early caution stage 2. We'll step aside. Daniel Hemrick led the most laps last weekend in Las Vegas, finished second. He's trying to win it here today, and he's out front, 57 laps in. It's March 13th, so let's remind you what happened on this date. Uncle Sam debuts in New York Lantern. How about this? Two planets discovered same day, many years apart. And Kevin Harvick won at Phoenix March 13th, 2016. It feels like he's won here every day of the year. And March 13th, happy birthday, Loretta Miller. Loretta's daughter, Pam, producing our race today. And Loretta, happy birthday to you. Pam is doing an outstanding job, all right? What do you guys think? You're not going to jump in on the
Very
birthday
good. I was still just amazed at the two planets being discovered in the same day. That was just incredible to me. I didn't know what to say after that.
Yeah, that's a lot of talent.
I mean, I'm throwing out all kinds of information.
Really good.
They're just softballs. You guys can jump in anytime. We're getting ready for a critical restart here as we head toward the end of stage 2. Your thoughts about what we're seeing on track? I know you're comfortable talking about that.
Absolutely. So we've seen the track already change quite a bit, Daniel, from the beginning of this race and really the first 30 laps of this race as the track's widen out and it's changing the way these restarts are working already. So it'll be interesting to see that. And also Brandon Jones coming from the rear. Austin Cindric moving back up from his not-so-good pit stop. There's going to be some interesting things happening, I think, on these first few laps of this next restart.
Definitely. Some of the fastest cars are now all the way up the front. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play out. Like Joey mentioned, the traction component is coming in harder and harder. And, we see how things play out.
When Daniel came up here, I said, we just make it up as we go. I don't think he believed me. It's true, Daniel, and now you know. Let's get down to the track as we anticipate the restart. Hemrick again in the outside lane, alongside Burton, and we'll listen in on Burton's radio. Tyler Green calling the shots from the spotter stand.
Kevin's going to push. In line, pushing. In line, going low. Back in line. Trying to go low again. Still outside your middle. Three middle. Clear low. 18 outside even. Nothing behind the 18 door. Still there. Still clear behind if we need it. One back 7. You're clear. One back 7. All clear. You're good.
What the heck just happened down in turn 1? There was cars everywhere. 3, 4 wide all the way through there. And you just hope you're in the right lane when it's moving forward. You have good control. Your tires are clean. As everyone barrels down into turn 1, it was a lot going on there, Adam.
Cindric back to 8th, losing ground, and that speaks to how important track position is and having control of the race, Daniel.
Track position and choosing the right lane. The 7 wasn't in the top 5, and he just picked the bottom. He took a little bit of a gamble, and he was able to pass quite a bit of cars. The 22 was on the outside, and he wasn't able to do the same thing.
Brandon Brown in the 68 up in the top 10, having a nice day. And this for second. You mentioned Justin Allgaier knocking on Harrison Burton's door for the runner-up spot.
And no surprise there. I know Justin's had a rougher start to his season, but this is his racetrack. He has plenty of experience. He's been through slumps before. He's had speed all year, even though he hasn't had the best finishes. Let's see what happened here on the restart. I don't know where that smoke's coming from. That looks a little interesting coming off the 9 car there.
Yeah, and what's odd about it is this is right as we were coming green, right? So you wouldn't have anticipated that there would have been any contact.
Let's take a look here. Let's hope it's not oil or water or something like that. Oh, that's fluid right there for sure. Probably water. And definitely coming from the 9. And that's what, look at it, washes him all the way to the wall. And Cindric goes along with him as he slides through all that fluid. So if that's water, it's not good. Let's listen to the 9.
Oh, it's not getting any better.
Super loose. Oil pressure, Brandon. Please get oil pressure from the driver. 75.
That's it, guys. He has some fire under the hood. I don't think he's going to make it very far.
There's not much oil pressure left, if he had any then.
What a rough start for this kid out of Las Vegas. Going to win the race at Miami and crashes out with a couple of laps to go. Was able to get back inside the top 5 last week at his home racetrack in Vegas, but unfortunately, it looks like today is going to end in the garage way too soon. 4th caution of the afternoon for Noah Gragson, who was running 7th, and now will have to pull his car into the Xfinity Series garage if he can make it that far.
Yeah, very unfortunate because he had a fast car, and like you mentioned, Adam, he needs to catch a little bit of a break. He has had fast race cars in the last few weeks, but he hasn't been able to finish the job.
It makes you wonder too when you see all the oil coming from underneath the car. You got to think it's an oil line that maybe came loose or got punctured somehow. It's hard saying without looking underneath the car, but look at the stream of oil. And you know, we can clear our camera off to where we can see again. Right now, Austin can't really see very well. As we clean that back off and he can see again, he can't clean his windshield. So he's going to have some vision issues, especially as you see that sun going down into turn 3 here.
Good news for him. We're right about 20 laps to go in the stage, so he won't have to deal with that very long. Daniel Hemrick is leading in Phoenix. The World Series of Bowling continues tomorrow on FS1 as the PBA hits the lanes in the Roth-Holman Doubles Championship. See what duo can strike it rich and take home the title tomorrow, 3 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. We got you covered all day long tomorrow in the Fox family of networks. 3 o'clock Eastern bowling here on FS1 on Fox at that time. We'll have the Cup Series race from Phoenix, and there is Noah Gragson. You know, I was going to say it's a mechanical, so you can go behind the wall and repair that, but obviously they are done for the day here. 3rd DNF this season for Gragson. That's just such a tough way to begin the campaign when you consider how good they were a year ago, and you come into this season thinking maybe a threat to make it right back here in Phoenix and run for the championship. What can you tell us, Regan?
Well, Adam, I can tell you that they didn't know they had a problem until they actually saw it on our cameras. I was standing in their pit box and watched their guys all of a sudden panic when they saw the oil and the fluid coming off of their race car. About 5 seconds later, when we showed the fire on the race car, they knew the problem was pretty terminal at that point. But as you said, this is a race team. They've had fast race cars. They've been doing the right thing on the racetrack. They have just had terrible luck so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have had speed in their car. And that's what I think takes a little bit of the sting away. you know, if you don't have speed in your car and you're having mechanical issues or getting caught up in crashes, that hurts a lot. But if you're running decent, at least you have a positive to take home with you. So you know what? We were fairly close on speed. You know, with the right circumstances, everything going right, we had a chance to win, possibly. You know, at least you have that when you go home at the end of the night. Makes it a little better. Not much. It's still pretty bad, but at least you have something.
I totally agree. And, you know, 3 DNFs is pretty bad, but when you look to the other side of the coin, Joey, what you mentioned that they have a speed, you know, they can go next week, win the race, and turn the luck around.
Mm-hmm. And you look at Junior Motorsports today, while Gregson is out, Justin Allgaier having his best day of the season. In the 3rd position, Michael Annett in the top 10. Josh Berry not too far behind. Hemrick leading under caution. We're live in the desert on FS1. An action-packed documentary about the triumph and tragedy of NASCAR legends Dale Earnhardt and Michael Waltrip. It's the greatest racing story ever told. Blink of an eye comes your way next. It's the TV debut for this documentary. It's an amazing story, and you have to watch it. And it follows us on FS1 when we're all done with the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the fans, they're ready for it. And Alan's saying if you've never seen Blink of an Eye, it comes on following the Xfinity race. Alan, we'll send the check, buddy. We appreciate you promoting what's coming up later tonight on FS1. Jamie?
Well, Noah Gragson has been checked and released, battling in the top 10 there. Your team didn't even know what was happening. At what point did you realize something was wrong?
Well, I seen some smoke out the mirror on the restart, but my shifts were clean all day. But I don't really know. All I know is that smoke was coming. I checked my oil gauge. That was showing 65, 70, and then it jumped up to 100, which was strange, but I don't know, let's see. You see a little smoke there, but I've hit my shifts good. We had a really fast pro shop. True Timber, Black Rifle, Coffee, Camaro, but yeah, very strange, disappointing, but we were fast. I really wanted to learn and build on the setup this year, just because we come back for the championship race is the most important one, but I don't know. What are you going to do?
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks.
We're going green, Adam.
Yep. Going to be 14 laps to go in the stage here, Jamie. Hemrick Burton on the front row.
Hemrick got a great launch out of the restart zone. Looks like he's going to clear Harrison before he even gets to turn one. That's the best place you can be, because look at the Hornet's Nest behind him.
and through the speedy dry. That has got to be difficult for a driver.
I was about to mention that, Adam, that all the work that these guys got, you know, for the first 30, 40, 50 laps to clean the traction compound in corner 1 and 2 now is start over again. So they have to start again and trying to clean everything up to get that grip back.
They don't seem to be scared to go up there. They were there immediately.
Hey, look who's making a nice comeback. A.J. Allmendinger started 4th, fell outside the top 10. And Jamie Little reported to us during one of the commercial breaks that they didn't know it. He had a tire going down when they made the pit stop at the end of stage 1. Caught a break with that caution, and now he's coming back. And the team car, Justin Haley, feeling good as well. He's going for 3rd around Justin Allgaier.
And so this is the moment right here. You got Justin Haley underneath him trying to make a pass, and because he didn't clear him, Austin Cindric coming off the top from turn 4, able to carry the momentum, make an easy pass on Justin Haley because he didn't have the momentum. That's where you got to try to line all this stuff up on restarts and saying, is it worth me taking the risk to try to pass the car if I can't come back up on the exit and I lose the momentum?
A couple of young, aggressive racers here. The 98 of Herbst, the 2 of Myatt Snyder. What do you see here, Daniel?
Oh.
Well, what happened there is that the 2 car had to check up a little bit because the guy in front of him kind of like, you know, just stole the air from him. And then the 98 didn't have any idea that was happening, and he just run out of room. But, you know, that's something that happened a lot here in Phoenix. This is a short track, but I mean, Joy, you can support me on this. This is a short track that is super aero depending. You almost drive this racetrack like a mile and a half. So, on my opinion, what happened right there to a 2, it was kind of like a chain reaction because a wrong position in aero.
Yeah.
Brett Moffitt slow in front of Brandon Brown, and we nearly had a problem there. We'll step aside with 10 to go in the stage.
right now, trying to get a stage win with 3 to go.
It's going to be very, very difficult to complete that pass in the bottom. You know, you will have to do something more like a slide job or something, being side by side, getting into the one, because definitely the grip is not in the bottom anymore.
I go back to what you said about momentum. You make the move, and if you don't get there, you can easily go in the wrong direction, especially when you got guys like Allgaier and Cindric who are back there and ready to pounce.
When you see what happened there, he tried to make that move down into turn 1, and now look at the distance. Hemric was able to pull all that distance off of turn 2 last lap, and that's 4 or 5 car lengths was able to do just because he didn't keep that momentum on the exit because his entry was so chopped off trying to make that pass.
Pit road is closed as we are inside of 2 laps to go in the stage, and now 1 remaining as they hit the start-finish line. Hemric trying to finish it off.
You know, Hemric has been fast. He already is with a great organization, fast race cars, and he's been finishing second for a long time. So I'm sure he's hungry, and he's gonna, if he's in position, he's gonna do whatever it takes to be able to get to victory lane. So his car is looking pretty good right now.
And for the 2nd consecutive week, he's a stage winner. Daniel Hemric gets it done. Burton, Allgaier, Cindric, Haley, the top 5. The rest of the drivers scoring points. Burton, Allmendinger, and don't look now, but Brandon Jones got back in the top 10. He gets a stage point as well. The celebration out west continues. Myatt Snyder at the 4 corners. And Jamie Little hanging out with A.J. Allmendinger in Winslow, Arizona. There you go.
Get him waving at us. He said, I got air in my tires now. My car's much better.
Oh, yeah. I bet he's not as loose now.
That picture was not taken at the end of stage 1, by the way.
No. Absolutely not.
Pit road is open. Everybody should have 2 sets of tires. So you come down, you pit here, and that saves one for the final stage. And it always feels like we have that long green flag run to end it here at Phoenix. We'll see if that plays out this afternoon. And when they pit, Hemric, Harrison Burton, Allgaier, Cindric, and Haley are the top 5. This is where you can really get it done and gain some positions, Jamie.
Now we'll start here with Jeb Burton. Had a great run going all this race. He said the car is turning really good. He doesn't want much of a change because that long run you just mentioned, Adam, a 4-tire stop, good top 10 run for him. Meanwhile, the 20 of Harrison Burton, happy with the car, a little bit free, and he said it's hard to pass. They were telling him what to do. He had to back up there, a problem when he just pulled in. They're wiping the grill there. Let's go down to Regan.
Well, Justin Allgaier, the left side of your screen in the 7 car. That race car is really free off the corners right now. He can't make speed on the top side of the racetrack like he would like to. And your leader, Daniel Hemrick, they didn't really help his car that last run. He's not too happy with it. He is free in right now. Lots of information on where other cars are running on that radio.
And the race off pit road, and it's so hard to capture it here because of where they come off. Justin Allgaier +2. Cindric picking up positions here after losing them the last time, and Daniel Hemrick in that #1 pit stall wins the second stage, and he falls to 3rd after the pit stop. Let's talk to him, Daniel.
Hey, amigo. Daniel Suarez here, up in the booth with the boys. How is everything? Winning the second stage. The car looks very sporty up front. What do you think? Do you think you can make it happen?
Hey there, my friend. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, with the juice up here, it's definitely top dominated after about 10 laps or so. But no, the Poppy Bank Super seems pretty versatile. Takes off pretty good for a couple laps there around the bottom. But Dave Rogers took a swing out of here to try to help us live a little longer. So proud of these guys, man. That's what you got to do to put yourself in contention as late laps win stages. And the last 2 weeks we've done that. So see if we can keep it going.
10-5, buddy. Keep it up front. We're going to be watching. Good job, man. Good luck.
It must be a Gibbs thing, calling the traction compound the juice. That's the second time we've heard it from those guys today. During pit stops, Jamie Little referenced issues for Harrison Burton. What happens here, guys?
Slid her through a little bit, and you know, these pit stalls here, the pit stalls aren't very abrasive. It's kind of like a shop floor, and it ends up being pretty slick. And Daniels, you seem to think that he may have found the stall a little bit late too. That may have added to that angle, right?
That's what I think, man. Because he just seemed to turn left very, very late. Listen, he still has 100 laps to recover. He just have to make sure that he doesn't make that mistake again.
Hey, Brandon Jones finished second stage 1, was speeding, had to drop to the back. Here, Harrison Burton was second in stage 2, and they have their problems on pit road. He'll restart outside the top 15. Justin Allgaier wins the race off pit road, takes the outside lane for the restart. Let's listen in.
Still, order, and all clear. All clear. 22's coming around the top with you. 22 is almost clear, and he is.
I believe that's Eddie DeHaan, and he is very calm for everything that's going on out there right now. It's amazing how these spotters can stay so calm when I know inside the car I'm far from calm.
Oh, definitely, I'm the same way. Every time that I hear my spotter, he's always with a lot of adrenaline, and I feel like he pulled me nervous a little bit sometimes.
Hey, look at Cindric. He's second right now, and he was actually second off pit road, but he gave up the front row to restart in that outside lane. It's worked out for him, staying in position in that runner-up spot. And with Allgaier leading, that's great for Junior Motorsports, but more problems there. The one of Michael Annett behind the wall with what we understand is an engine problem. So 2 big disappointments for Junior Motorsports today.
2 engine issues. That's never good. If I was a 7, I would be a little bit worried, but trying not to think about it too much.
Ty Gibbs back to the top 10. Maybe.
There's the old crossover. They might do it again down on this end.
I think this is the part of the race that I can see Ty Gibbs shining the most because, you know, he already has 100 laps under his belt and just trying to learn more and more. And here's the time of the race where he needs to start pushing.
I mean, you mentioned delivering late in the race. That's been the story for this guy the last 3 weeks now. Josh Berry, who just learns these tracks on the fly, gets in the final stage, and now here he is riding fourth with 98 to go.
You know, and Josh has done a great job at you know, not being in this car every single week. And now he's had a few consistent runs in the car, but it takes some time to learn the crew chief, learn the team, let them learn you, figure out what you need in your race car, and you don't have practice to do it. So, you know, he's has a few Xfinity starts under his belt now, but they've been spread out over the course of years. You know, so look at this wad we have going on over here.
Brett Moffitt in the 0-2 shot out of a can, and he makes it 3 wide. All these drivers from 13th on back, it gives you an idea of how hard they're racing. The Leaf Home Solutions onboard camera riding with Justin Haley.
Oh!
That was Ryan Vargas in the 6.
That's going to hurt that one.
Josh Berry to 3rd. Maybe Justin Allgaier, the veteran at JRM, told his young teammate too much about what it means to be successful and what it takes at Phoenix.
He's definitely doing very good. And, you know, to Joy's point, you know, coming here, not running every single week without practice, you know, just getting to know the team and everything. It's very impressive. He's doing a hell of a job.
And you see a 2 in the 68. Running out of real estate there. Everyone trying to keep the momentum up on the exit. And a little bit of contact.
We mentioned Josh Berry. He's 3rd now, Regan.
Well, Adam, just to add to that, talked to Taylor Moyer, his crew chief, this morning. He said the setup in this car is very similar to that in the 7 car because of the success that Justin Allgaier has had here. He wanted to keep that setup as close as he could, take one variable out. Josh Berry, a very good short track racer, Give them 2 stages to figure it out. This was their plan today. Figured out 2 stages, last stage, go for it.
And hey, give a lot of credit to Taylor Moyer on the box. A couple years ago, he came here with drivers who had not been here. Ryan Truex finished second to Kyle Busch, a top 5 run for Zane Smith. Taylor is not intimidated by bringing an inexperienced driver here. He's been very successful in doing it again today. Another good day for Colleague Racing. Allmendinger up to 4th. Jeff Burton, Justin Haley in the top 10, but it's the other Justin Allgaier leading. They're stars on the track. They're great behind the wheel of anything. And I have to say, today they're doing a nice job in the TV booth. Good to be sharing some time with Daniel Suarez and Joey Logano. And we've had plenty to talk about, guys. The 18 with a problem here, that's Daniel Hemrick.
Yeah, it looks like he just got loose there. You know, that's a very easy place to get loose. His car's behind you, taking air off that rear spoiler. Look how small that rear spoiler is here at Phoenix. You get a little bit of air off of it, whoop, just gets loose. And then you're up in the dirty part of the racetrack. And look, we got battle for the lead. Austin Cindric has ran down Justin Allgaier as they go battle it down into turn 1.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because, you know, both of them, they know that the traction company is a way to go. And look how much gap the 22 loses into the 7. It was almost like 3 or 4 car lengths.
Now this is 1 lap ago, so a little bit of a setup here, I guess, for the 22. Putting himself in position to make the move.
Yeah, it looks like I think before this maybe the 7 got loose and was allowed Austin Cindric in the 22 to be able to run up to him and then try to, at this point, you know how it is, Suarez. You're packing air on the guy in front of you. You try to drive the lead car from behind, meaning that you try to put your bumper as close as you can to the car in front of you, trying to loosen them up a little bit by taking air off and to try to position yourself on the inside or the outside of them to try to make the pass. And see, that's a bad place to be right there, where the 68 was packing air on Hemric into the corner, and we've already seen where Hemric is loose into turn 1. That's a very vulnerable spot to be.
Exactly. And, you know, drivers are not good friends sometimes, because if I know that you are loose, I'm going to make you looser, right, to try to take that spot. And I feel like right now the racetrack is changing. You know, if we pay attention to the corner 3 and 4, we see a huge shade. And in corner 1 and 2, the sun is hitting it very hard. So right now, you know, the racetrack is going through a transition, and some cars are going in the right direction, and some others are going in the right direction, like the 18 of Hemric.
And it's 3 o'clock local time, so this track likely is warm in turns 3 and 4, in turns 1 and 2, as it's been all day long, and that track temp and the traction compound can all make it very difficult for these drivers. Regan?
Well, a couple laps ago, we saw the 22 of Austin Cindric close in on the leader of Justin Allgaier. Justin came on the radio. He actually thought there was fluid on the racetrack. He had checked up just a little bit because it was so slippery for him. Everything all good now. He was able to get back into his rhythm, stretch the lead back out. Very, very promising to see him running the top side of the racetrack as he is today. That is something that's not been strong for him at this racetrack.
The advantage for Allgaier now a half a second over Cindric. Another 2.5 seconds back to Josh Berry, who rides in third. We're going to do the visor cam. I know you like this, Daniel. I want you to take a lap with Justin Haley, but do it in Spanish. Give us a couple of laps here.
For all my Spanish-speaking amigos, here we go. You know, here we are getting. Oh, sorry. This is my English. I'm so natural now. So, aquí. La línea de meta, estamos llegando a la curva número 1. Es muy importante poder ir o hacia la parte de abajo o hacia la parte de arriba, a la área de tracción, la parte más oscura. Aquí vemos como el carro número 54 de Ty Gibbs está pasando autos, está ya en el top 10, está en la 7ª posición, tratando de pasar más autos. Aquí está en la parte de la tracción. En la curva 4, saliendo, tratando de preparar el pase para el próximo carro, que es Jeff Burton. Pero aquí una parte muy importante. Aquí obviamente todavía está tratando de recortar ese... Oh, tenemos bandera amarilla. Caution is out, amigos.
I don't know that I'm the right guy to say great job, but great job.
I heard traction. At one point, I think you said traction.
Yeah. Traction,
all right.
Traction and top 10. I bet you got that. Right?
I got that. Yep. Those are some good words.
Caution is out for the 6th time today. Justin Allgaier leading. And in control of this race, we are in our fuel window, and that begs the question, do you pit now or do you save that final set of tires? And here's the reason for the caution. That's Tommy Joe Martin's top 15 last week, and unfortunate problems here for the Diamond Gunnet Jeans machine.
I think it's too early, man. What do you think?
Well, first off, I think Tommy Joe's in good shape there. I think he just got a little bit too high and got in the in a little bit more of the dirty stuff above the traction compound. I think it's too early to pit. He got a long ways to go. This is a tough situation for the Xfinity guys. You only have one set of tires left. And if you put them on now, you got 76 to go. What happens if you run 50 laps and the caution comes out?
I think it's a very difficult position, because I tried to put my position, for example, on Daniel Hemric. You know, his car is not good right now. He wants some adjustments. He wants some tires. He's running 16 right now. 16 right now. So what would you do?
Maybe you come in and make an adjustment. You don't have a whole bunch to lose. Let's listen to the 11 car here.
All right, here's the situation we're in. We're within our fuel window. You got one set of stickers laying with 76 laps left on the board.
That's your deal. I mean, it's been a pretty caution-filled race, so.
I like how the driver says that. Yeah, whatever you say, that way it's not on me.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's Murphy's Law, right? The minute you stay out and anticipate it's been a long day as far as cautions, you're not going to get the yellow and we're going to go green. And the question has been answered. Pit with 75 to go, Jamie.
And A.J. Allmendinger, they wanted to follow the leader, so they will come in. Justin Haley as well, teammates side by side. There was a lot of debate back and forth. A.J. saying he needs a little bit of help turning better and needs some rear security. Car has been pretty decent for the 16 last week's winner. As they put on forward tires, they do make a chassis adjustment in the right rear. You see that, Regan?
See the 7 car, Justin Allgaier, a little bit of question mark what they should do right here. Ultimately, the decision was to pit. He's been quiet about that race car. The second place car of Austin Cindric also pitting. That race car was just starting to come to him right now.
Josh Berry, another car, really good on the long run. How will he do on this cycle of pit stops? Ryan Sieg says, I'm going to pit fuel only. He gains a ton of track position, and Cindric gets off the pit lane in front of Allgaier. The restart when we come back to Phoenix. So 2021, little strategy playing out here. Ryan Sieg stays out. He was 11th before the caution. He takes the outside lane. Let's listen in. Cindric to his inside.
Still inside even, one back your lane. Still inside, down on the apron. 2 on your left. Still on your left. I don't know who.
And it didn't work out. There he is up the track. Cindric takes over the lead.
It looks like he might have a flat tire. Maybe he ran something over on his caution laps on pit road or something like that. I really like the strategy that Ryan Sieg had going on here. But there you see right there, he has some damage.
He must have got into the wall, right? Because we didn't see it there, but that right side is so scuffed up, so that must have been what happened starting in the outside lane.
Let's see what happened now. Remember, he's on old tires. He put fuel only in it, and you're going to get your lunch taken right now on the restart, obviously. But as you see, he gets tagged by the 8. Getting down into the corner, and that's the hard part about the strategy call that he's made. He's made himself so vulnerable by being the only car. Ugh, that's a hit. It's a big hit. The only car on old tires. Everyone knows that, and they're just like sharks with blood in the water.
Hey, and we need to update a couple of things here. Daniel Hemrick was speeding on pit road. So was Jeb Burton. And more problems here for Joe Gibbs Racing. Harrison Burton around, 7th caution of the day with 69 to go. A host of issues for JGR, who finished 1, 2, 3 in this race a season ago. Harrison was 6th.
Looks like he just, down there on the bottom, out of the traction compound, and got loose.
Riding here with Justin Haley.
20's in the two right only.
Ooh, that was close.
That was close. And here's the tough part where a bad day gets worse for Harrison. They don't have any tires left. They're going to have to put some used tires on it.
I was just thinking about that. The last set of tires with 68 laps to go is not good.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. First ever Xfinity race at Phoenix, won by Fox's own, the NASCAR Hall of Famer, a 4-time Cup champion, Jeff Gordon. Steve Burns there with him in victory lane. That's great to see. And Jeff will be in the broadcast booth tomorrow with Clint Boyer, Mike Joy. Coverage starts on FS1 with race day, 2 Eastern time. Over to Fox at 3, we're green. Shortly after 3:30 Eastern time. And now we get to our Xfinity fastest laps today. Austin Cindric leads the race, and he leads in this category as well. Then you've got Allgaier, Harrison Burton, Daniel Hemrick, and Josh Berry. He's on the fastest board, but they just came down pit road. What's the story there, Regan?
Well, Adam, this team had to pit. They had a loose wheel after that last pit stop. They had to pit, put some scuff tires back on the car. The one-lap tires they just took off, they're gluing back up. Unfortunately for him, he was also too fast on pit lane as well, so he will have to go to the back for that also. Now,
not many pitted, right? So that won't impact him nearly as much as it would have if all those had come down pit road, because he was going to start pretty far back anyway.
Let me say something about that, Adam. I mean, if the 8 has a loose wheel, those tires have only one lap. If for some reason he needs those tires later on, he's going to be the only one with fresh tires.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the tire allotments today, and we saw the tweet there, so we appreciate all the fans joining in.
That's amazing,
and, yeah, it is. It's awesome, and some tweet in English, others tweet in Spanish, and so I typically read that information. Today, sometimes I just have to look the other way.
That's amazing. I really appreciate all the people supporting, watching, and Spanish, English, doesn't matter. We're having a lot of fun here.
Daniel's amigos, right?
Daniel's amigos, there they are.
Harrison Burton also made a pit stop. Let's listen in to Cindric here.
Yellow of Goodyear all the way around, and the rest of the tires blue.
10-4. My bad, man. I went straight off line. That was weird. That had me worried.
Yeah, talking about it. It must have had some contact. Talking about the yellow on the tire being gone. I think they're talking about the Goodyear lettering. So maybe had a little rub somewhere with somebody. I don't know.
Hey, a lot of Gibbs cars have had trouble today. The one who really has not, the guy that started 27th and is now inside the top 5 on the restart. Ty Gibbs, Brandon Jones bouncing back from a speeding penalty. He's up there as well. Front row, Cindric and Allgaier. Here we go again.
Side by side down into turn 1 here. And you see that momentum from the 22 car on the top. I guess that's hard to beat that momentum. The 19, a little bit of contact off of turn 2. And right now I feel like you have 3 or 4 of the best cars all day long up front with 63 to go.
Cindric has led the most laps this season, has led the most laps today, closing on 60 out front as we close on 60 to go in the race.
Well, we called it early in the race. The 22 and the 19, they were going to be strong, and they're there.
Daniel Hemrick trying to come back from that speeding penalty. Made it 3 wide for a moment. He's closing on a spot inside the top 10 as we crank it up. And now our 8th caution of the day, a spin in the form of Brett Moffitt. And I do believe he was running in the top 10. Scored in the 12th position when he went around.
So wait and see what happened here. Car looks like it's in pretty good shape. Tires are up. Ooh.
Not clear.
Still there. Still there.
Clear with contact, right?
Clear now.
Well, another car that is going to have to put another set of scuff tires.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, everyone's just being aggressive here, and you want to try to clear yourself. And I mean, he must just not have known that he was there. He made a good save, though. You know, he spun her around, kept her straight.
And he's done a great job this year. His Brett Moffitt driving that 02, got his career best finish at Daytona to start the year. He won a truck race here at Phoenix in 2018. The next week went to Miami and won the Camping World Truck Series title. Cindric leading, 60 laps to go in the desert.
Amigos, estamos de regreso y seguimos en bandera amarilla, esperando que todo se limpie para poder pronto regresar a bandera verde.
Okay,
This is not Fox Deportes.
I thought you did a great job calling a couple laps in Spanish too. Joey and I did not have the same reaction that you got in that tweet. Okay, let's just clarify.
Sure? No, I don't know why those never get sent to me. I usually get like the finger emoji or something like that sent to me. So must be nice, Daniel. Must be nice.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
You're having fun though. You feel comfortable, right?
I love this. It's a lot of fun, you know, having fun with you, Adam, with Joy, good amigos, good racing.
And the best is yet to come. 57 to go, and working our 8th caution, and plenty of storylines on track. And one of the big headliners recently, Harrison Burton. What's the latest there, Jamie?
Well, Harrison Burton had gotten into the wall and spun, and when he brought it down pit road, his team didn't have time to glue up the lug nuts, so they had to go over the wall, put on 20 lap scuffs. Watch this on the left front. The tire changer has to manually put those lug nuts back on. That's not something you ever see on pit road. So we'll show you the difference. They just took our tires, but here's one of the wheels. You can look in there. There's no lug nuts on there. I'll walk you over here. The team just glued these lug nuts up. So this is what they look like when they go over the wall and on the car. That saves a tremendous amount of time. Now you guys know when we talk about gluing lugs, this is what it does.
Well, and everybody now on scuffed tires, right, Jamie? I mean, no one has any stickers left because you only had 3 in the pits to start today. And so that's what everyone has had to resort to, gluing up an old set in case you have to come down and make a stop here in the latter portion of this race. Cindric on the front row with Justin Allgaier, and watch Brandon Jones really good in that outside lane, and just behind him in the 54, his teammate Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, Brandon Jones gave up the front row to start on the outside here, so we'll see if this works for him.
To him, too wide up here, too wide tight, cover tight with him, he's getting pushed. Still inside corner, bumper, clear, 19's gonna get clear. He's clear, tight to you, little.
It worked out pretty good for him. He's not all over Cindric off of turn 2.
He got second back, and he wants the lead. He had a speeding penalty. He was way back, and here he is. Brandon Jones out front at Phoenix.
That's a power move right there. To be able to restart that good and then send it down into turn 3 and clear the 22 with momentum. He's not going to be able to get away too quickly, though. Austin's definitely going to apply the pressure here. There you see the sun. That's all you see is the sun, not much cars. It's very challenging to be able to see this time of day.
Probably that's why the 19 just sent it into the 3.
He couldn't see. He had an excuse.
Exactly. Oh, but he's fast, man. He's definitely fast.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. When you get right on the back bumper of a car, you take all that downforce off the rear end of that 22. This is what the 19 was able to do there. And that's what gave him position down into the corner. Look at, they're battling now. Oh, they're battling everywhere.
That's Josh Berry that's got damage. And I think has a tire going down because there he goes.
It's crazy how one little mistake leads you into something bigger and bigger. I mean, he was doing a very, very good job running in the top 5, and you know, just a little problem with tires. He had to put him in the back of the pack with all the tires, and this is what you get.
Yeah, I mean, these Xfinity races, like you said, with not much tires on them, you know, to start off with, and you're back there trying to make up for something that's not there, and yeah, it just kind of gets pushed up high. Oh, that's going to be a pretty big hit. And then you're going to get hit in the left rear, and now your left rear is down, and you're going to finish it down here.
That's it,
Yeah, that's the 23 of Blaine Perkins making his Xfinity debut today for our motorsports. Got some damage on the right front, and there's Berry into the wall.
So there was a battle for the for the lead there, and I don't believe Cindric appreciated the bump off of turn 2 on the restart and returned the favor. That we've seen this from Austin before, where he's not afraid to use that front bumper.
We saw it last week with Brandon's teammate Harrison Burton. So Cindric being scored as the race leader. Back on point, Brandon Jones now shown second. It's Allgaier, Gibbs, and Daniel Hemrick. Give an attaboy there. He's had a host of problems today. He's worked his way back to the top 5, and what a tough afternoon for Junior Motorsports. Engine problems for the 9 and the 1 of Gregson and Annette, and now a crash has ended the day of rookie driver Josh Berry. I have a feeling things could get heated up when we return with just over 50 to go.
Here we go.
Caution number 9 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Here at Phoenix Raceway, Josh Berry into the wall, and here is what happened. Racing the 26 of Santino Ferrucci.
And Santino wanted the traction compound. I wanted to stay up there. And I tell you what happens here, guys. The PJ or the traction compound, when you're above where everybody runs, it's still sticky, but it's collecting all the dust and all the dirt and everything that comes along with that. And that, when you get into that, it's just like you're on ice. You just kind of slide all over.
Here's Ferrucci radio driving for Sam Hunt Racing in that 26.
Well, I said he's pissed he wrecked himself and flipped me off. I guess he's just upset he didn't get the outside in 2. I mean, I didn't play here. I mean, didn't realize we were supposed to give room coming to the end here.
Joey, you've got 2 things in common with Ferrucci. Number 1, both from Connecticut. Number 2, every once in a while, you get this.
I really like the way you teed that up. Is it a Connecticut thing, or what's going on here? I don't know.
I don't know. That's what happens on the roadways in the Northeast, I guess.
I don't know. My amigo over here is getting these tweets, and my fellow nutmegger is getting flipped off.
Man, like I say, where I came from, that's not something nice.
And
you can find
I don't think it's supposed to be.
The Josh Berry fan club is not going to agree with this, but I'm going to take this opportunity to salute Santino Ferrucci. Not only does he have the best name in today's field, top 15 again for that race team on back-to-back weeks. That's impressive.
Absolutely. I think, jumping into this sport right now is harder than ever because I call it COVID racing. We don't have practice. We don't, we're not around our teams as much as you want to be. So to be able to develop right now as a race car driver, or really any racer in the sport right now, whether you're working on the cars or being a pit crew member, whatever it is, it's harder than ever right now to do that. So to see some of the success that Santino's having, that Ty Gibbs is having, these guys that you would think the guys that have experience would be accelerating so much more than what they are. But it just goes to show that they're using other tools, whether it's simulation or just trying to find ways of getting race cars one way or another.
Now, Daniel, we saw that Josh Berry was not happy with Santino Ferrucci. We also saw that Brandon Jones was hit on the backside by Austin Cindric to take over the race lead. What do we anticipate on this restart between the 19 and the 22?
Well, let me tell you, I'm super excited about this coming restart because the 22 and the 19, they are two of the fastest cars in the entire field, and they've been going at each other. The 19 hit the 22 once, the 22 hit the 19 once. So now we're going to see if that is going to continue or not, because probably the next restart is going to define who's going to get the lead and try to control it to get to victory lane.
So are they even, or are they going to one-up each other?
I would say if I was a 19, let me go on top.
Well, we'll see.
We're in the fourth quarter, and they're playing like we're in overtime, okay? 47 to go. There'll be 46 when we get the restart. And this time, Brandon Jones elects to restart on the front row with Cindric, who takes the outside lane.
Rolling. At the line now. Watch your bottom here. 19 looking. Clear low, one outside. They're hooked up on top. He shoved him in. Outside, outside, outside. Outside, still there, still there. Outside. Outside, keep coming here. Still there. They're lined up. We'll get you a gap here. Still there. Outside. Outside. Still there. Outside. 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 Gonna be small behind the 18 there. Clear.
Stevie Reeves, the spotter, walking Brandon Jones through the restart, who slides in line in fourth. Allmendinger back up in the top 5.
And then you hear his spotter, Stevie Reeves, talking about, hey, I'll find you a hole here. You got to get back up top into that traction compound. That's what they're looking to get into and keep rolling. And then you saw, the 7 of Justin Allgaier. He actually was second before they chose. He chose the top as well, just like the 19 did before. And you can see why. This bottom lane right now does not have any bite.
Justin Haley got a piece of the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Gibbs got loose and then slid right up in front of him going to turn 1.
Old tire restarts are a little bit harder to bolt the power down.
Oh man, he caught him a break because that was the record for the 54. But like you say, Joy, those old tires restarts are not easy.
I think old tire restarts is one of the hardest things that we as drivers have to try to figure out how to do. As Justin Allgaier is all over Cindric. This is going to be a good race to the end, guys.
Old tires. So how do you manage your race car here, knowing you're not coming back to pit road if you're Cindric, Allgaier, Hemrick, and the other guys up front?
I don't see anyone having a chance right now to actually save your tires or be smart. You can't really save much on restarts. It's hard to do that. It's once you get 10, 12 laps into a run, you can start to find a rhythm and manage your tires, whether you're using the front or the rears more and trying to keep your balance close. But when you're pressuring cars around you or someone's trying to pass you, you got to push.
The sights and sounds of Phoenix Raceway are outstanding. So as we hit 40 to go, let's crank it up one more time.
Order, tight, bumper. Be ready, guys, right side, still on side. Go ahead, keep your fans on if you haven't already. You're 2 ahead, 40 laps to go. 1 and 2 now. Half little run coming at you. Barely to your bumper. Square tight now. Half squared, 3/4 squared. Go
Really good pictures. Great work by everybody putting this race together. Great team we have at Fox. And just as we went to crank it up, Myatt Snyder outside of Brandon Brown. 2-car pops the wall.
That's a pretty good hit. Yeah, these composite bodies allow you to hit the wall and not get fender rubs as much as you used to, but a hit like that's still not good.
The misfortune for Myatt Snyder opened the door for Jade Buford. And here's a pass. Ty Gibbs going around his teammate Brandon Jones, and he brings Justin Haley with him.
Well, I think that was Brandon Jones actually trying to pass Ty Gibbs, not completing the pass. And once again, you see it when you can't complete the pass. Here comes the car right behind him again.
You got Gibbs had been behind Jones. They were racing for that position for a couple of laps, and now it's Gibbs to fourth, matching his best running position of the day. All of it happening behind Austin Cindric, who's in front of Allgaier. We've hit double digits. 10th caution of the day. The 19 is Brandon Jones, just in front of the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger.
Oh, I think we misjudged it a little bit there.
Is that clear with contact again, Daniel?
That's clear with contact. I mean, that was very unfortunate because I don't think Allmendinger wanted to do that, but definitely, you know, he just misjudged it by a few inches.
Let's see, here you see it just, yeah, the 16, nothing intentional there. I think Allmendinger is just trying to keep his momentum, try to stay tight on the 19 to try to loosen him up maybe on the way into turn 3, and misjudged the front of the bumper to the back of his bumper, and around they went.
Ty Gibbs, 5th right now.
To me, like you had some help on that last restart. I don't know if you felt like you spun the tires first or if it was contact on the 11.
No, I barely spun them and then I got drilled. No, I couldn't do anything. He had me pinned up sideways.
Yeah, copy.
If I remember right, he was just in front of Justin Haley on that last restart. And hey, celebrate good times for Our Motorsports, the 02 of Brett Moffitt. Remember, we had a caution not long ago, and he had actually, I think what had happened, I was going to say he was scored up front inside the top 5. I'm like, how did that happen? He had made a pit stop, I believe, pulled up in front of the field, timing and scoring, collected him there. I'm sorry, Brett. I'm sorry. The numbers were misleading, and he will now restart outside the top 20. But there are some really good stories in the top 10, including Brandon Brown, Jeremy Clements, and J.J. Yaley. Do you know a NASCAR fan dedicated to helping children through volunteer service? Nominate this fan today for the NASCAR Foundation's Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. Since its inception in 2006, the award has given $1.8 million in donations to charities representing 40 finalists, impacting the lives of more than 350,000 children in need. Learn more at NASCARFoundation.org/award.
I love what the NASCAR Foundation does. You know, it really, includes everybody. Not just the France family, but the fans. It includes the teams, the drivers, everybody, supports that, and they support the other drivers and initiatives that they have. It's really cool to see everyone work together that way.
These are some of the drivers that I was talking about. I mean, Jay Buford on the list. Here's a guy that a month ago had never been on an oval in NASCAR and has a top 12 run going. J.J. Yaley in the 17, the hometown guy. I mean, he's from Arizona and running in the top 10. And just in front of him, Jeremy Clements in the 51, trying to finish top 10 for the 3rd time in 4 weeks. And I mentioned Brandon Brown, but that's become an old hat. This is a team that spends a lot of time up front. And Riley Herbst, who's had a tough start to the year, up in the top dozen as well.
Things are changing here in the racetrack. As we can see now, the racetrack has full shade. So, we know that we are at the very last stage of the race, but the racetrack keeps changing, and hopefully, it suits to some of the race cars up front.
At least they can see where they're going down in the turn 3 now with that sun being behind the grandstands.
Great comeback by Hemrick, who's had some issues today. Restarts on the front row with Cindric, 29 remaining.
With 30 to go, it's go time now. There's no more give and take. It's just take for the whole field. It's going to be entertaining to watch these first few laps.
It's crazy how strong is the traction compound on the outside line. The 18, I feel like he has a very fast race car, but it's very, very hard to fight, all tires on the traction compound.
So now the battle's on. You got Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric. Those are 2 of the best here at this racetrack. It's the cream always rises to the top at the end of these races, no matter what, all the time. And it'll be interesting to see if the 7 can apply the pressure and stay on it as they run a couple different lines through 1 and 2. As you see, the 22 kind of run the radius, stay higher in the traction compound in the exit, and you saw the 7 pull off of it. 2 different ways of running that corner for sure.
Interesting to me, when we came here in November, a championship on the line, and the only driver not in the field today that was going for the title is Chase Briscoe, who's now a rookie driving for Stewart-Haas in the Cup Series. The other 3 drivers, Justin Haley, Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, they're 1, 2, 3. The last time they were here, much more pressure, but each of them hoping to collect a trophy this afternoon. And Brandon Jones from the Care Center. Let's go to Jamie Little.
Top 5 car all day. What happened between you and A.J. Allmendinger?
Yeah, gosh, it's such a tough deal. I know the sun was in our eyes pretty bad off of turn 2, but just got rained over from my perspective. So look to rebound next weekend and head for our guys. Thought we had a really phenomenal run going. Still was off on balance a little bit for that final stage, but all in all, we had a really good Toyota Supra. Hated for everybody that puts effort into it, but looks like I just got ran over by AJ. But I'll keep a notebook of all this stuff and use it in my future.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, he was on the short side of it twice today. Austin Cindric got him. AJ hits him and turns him down the back straightaway. That puts him out his 2nd DNF of the year, trying to finish top 5 for a 4th consecutive week. Speaking of Allmendinger, working over his teammate Jeb Burton.
But you know, Adam, something important to mention that Jones actually mentioned right there, and he recognized that, is that the sun was actually affecting the drivers very, very bad on exit of corner 2, all the way until entry of the 3. Like Joey and I were talking, right now the sun is gone, it's 100% gone, and the worst part of that sun is probably 5 minutes before it's gone, because it's when it's super bright and right in your eyes. You know, lucky for them, you know, now it's gone, but unfortunately for Jones, that he got the short end of it.
These guys battling pretty hard here, back here for 11th and 12th. A little bit of contact. You see the left rear tire, the 48, it has no lettering left on it. That's from a little bit of contact.
When you're in that position, you are driving as hard as you can. I mean, you know that the 98 most likely is faster, right? But you are racing as hard as you can because you just want to make the difference as a driver, you know?
And every spot matters. You know, I think for Buford, a top 10 is huge. It's a big deal for that race team. So they're going to fight hard because having that stat, it feels nice, you know? Having that, you know, at the end of the day, having a certain amount of top 10s or top 5s or even in the win column, you know, you fight for every one of those. No one's going to give them to you.
Hey, 60 days ago, they didn't really have this race team put together. Big Machine Racing, Scott Burchetta is the owner, Patrick Donahue, the crew chief and the manager, and there it is. He's into the wall. You hate that because they were in position to finish it off.
Looked like he just got too high. Same situation, guys. When you get too high out of the awesome sauce, it just is not very awesome anymore. And you get into where it's very dirty, and you slide up into the wall. It happens so quickly. You're right on the edge of it. The most grip is right on the edge of it. It's where it's the freshest. But if you jump it, you get into the really dirty stuff and you hit the wall. And there you see it right here.
I mean, you can even see it, how it's more shiny and less clean. And once you get there, it's game over. I want to say something, Joey. I mean, it's been one lap after that happens, and he can recover his speed. I wonder if he has a tire down or something.
He hit it pretty hard. That's a pretty good hit.
Inside of 20 to go, and Austin Cindric with a half a second advantage over Justin Allgaier, but they're really not able to get away from each other. And now for third, Haley and Hemrick.
And this is a hard pass to make. You see Hemrick coming. He's going to pull the slide jab. He's going to slide up in front of Justin Haley. Haley's going to get the run, cross him back over, try to. Well, it looks like he just gave it to him there.
I'm very surprised on that one.
I think sometimes if you know if that car behind you is that much quicker, you know, go have at it. Maybe he'll get up there with the leaders and cross them all up, and maybe you can catch back up. Maybe that was definitely, you know, he could have made the crossover move, but I think he would have just been kept getting pressured over and over again after that.
I probably mentioned it too early, but that sun is still pretty bad. At least from our position here, it's not as bad, but from that onboard camera, the sun was hitting pretty bad.
JJ Yaley in the 17, the hometown guy getting around Brandon Brown, and so is Riley Herbst. You know, Herbst driving that 98 for Stuart Haas. The announcement came this week. Kevin Harvick, his Cup teammate, going to run a few Xfinity races. Basically the road courses that are new on the Cup schedule that are partnered with Xfinity weekend. So we'll see him first at Circuit of the Americas.
And how about JJ Yaley? You know, he's been able to run this thing in the top 9. That's a great run for that team. And there's something about going to your home track. You want it just a little bit more. You know, you want to win them all equally, but there's something about going home and wanting to have a solid run there. You just seem to find a little bit more.
I hope we can go to Mexico soon then.
Well, here's what's impressive to me. Look at the age. JJ's 44. You find him on a NASCAR entry list, any series, virtually every weekend, right? He'll drive anything. Doesn't matter where it's parked in the garage. And he's going to give you his best effort in doing it here today, trying to hang on to ninth, but he's got his hands full.
He's going to have his hands full here trying to hold off Riley Herbst in that 98. You can tell he's got speed on him for sure. It's just a matter of time, him trying to set up the pass.
Cindric starting to widen his gap on Allgaier just a bit, but since Hemrick got around Haley, he has gained a little bit of ground on the leader. We'll keep an eye on that 18.
And I tell you what, just because you see a little bit of distance in the gap from first to second right now, this thing is far from over. 13 laps to go. They're going to catch lap traffic. That can definitely be an issue. And we've seen plenty of times where it looks like someone's going for the win and the caution comes out. And we've seen that happen here at Phoenix quite a few times.
Overtime in the first 3 races of the year for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And that actually made 4 in a row, dating back to the season finale here at Phoenix in November when we went beyond the scheduled distance.
I love listening to those in-car cameras and listening to how the drivers drive the corner 1 and 2 down there so differently. Where some drivers will roll a long ways, some will pick up the gas and then come back out of it and pick it up again and reset for the exit. Everyone just does it differently.
I was just thinking about that, listening to Ty Gibbs, how he fits a little throw in the center of the corner and he gets out of the gas again and then he comes back aggressive. But he's trying just to set up the pass to the 11 of Haley. It looks to me that he's a little bit faster, but like always, track position is super important.
If we do get a caution, 2 drivers I'll be watching, Ty Gibbs on board here and teammate Daniel Hemrick, because they both appear to have some speed in the latter portion of this race, just not the track position to do anything with it.
Yeah, and that's how these races are. You can't afford to make mistakes. It's 200 laps. It's not that long, and you don't have many opportunities to work on your car. You only had 3 sets of tires laying, so you can't have speeding penalties. You can't have bad pit stops. You can't have bad restarts. You have to be solid the whole race. And honestly, that's what you see. The 22 had a pretty solid day, and he's got himself up in front right now at that clean air. If you put the 7 in front of the 22, there's
the caution. Alex LeBay.
I told you it wasn't over. I told you. Woo!
Alex LeBay driving for Mario Gosselin, 27-year-old out of Canada, won the Phoenix Series championship a few years ago. The 11th time we've seen the yellow flag, and there's really no drama on pit or no pit because no one has any tires, but we'll get a restart that will define this day. Here's what happened.
It's hard to say from that angle. He probably got tagged down into the corner there just as quickly as he spun out. That's what that would tell me. Or a little bit past the moment it happened, but he spun out pretty quick. And then his tires looked like they were up. So I'd say he probably got tagged in the left rear. But I tell you what, there might not be no strategy on pit road, but there's going to be chaos on this restart.
I would tell you that many crew chiefs out there, they wish they were saving some tires because they already had 2 cautions. One right now with 8 to go, another one a little bit ago with 30 to go, where it was a perfect window for tires. But it's very easy to be a quarterback on Monday, right?
Of course, but you imagine if you had new tires and everyone else out there had 60 laps on their tires?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now the only tough thing about that is so many cars on the lead lap. Blaine Perkins gets the free pass here. He's 26th. So even if you had tires, you wouldn't have a ton of time to make use of them, and you'd have a lot of cars to try and get by. Reminder coming up next, an action-packed documentary about the triumph and tragedy of NASCAR legends Dale Earnhardt and Michael Waltrip. It's the greatest racing story ever told. Blink of an eye makes its television debut, and it's next when we're done in Phoenix on FS1. We've just passed 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Happy to have you with us as NASCAR Xfinity Series teams wrap things up, racing for the 5th time in 2021. Great storylines everywhere, including at the front where Austin Cindric tries to win for a 2nd consecutive time in the desert. Got the checkered flag here in November when he won his first NASCAR title. And up front with him, Justin Allgaier, who's won here twice in his career, looking for the hat trick in his first win of the campaign. Regan?
Well, Adam, when that caution came out, there was a painful silence on the 22 car's radio of Austin Cindric. Take a listen to this.
Well, you didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? Never is. All right, buddy. Obviously, elbows up on this restart, man.
There you have it. Austin Cindric, very mature. Brian Wilson had to break that silence. Finally, I was wondering if anybody was going to talk on that radio.
The numbers look great. Stage win, over 100 laps led. Unfortunately, if you don't execute on this final restart, it's all for naught.
I mean, he did an amazing job on that last restart to head into winning a championship. So I felt that he already knows, what it takes. He already knows the pressure. And, everyone is on the same boat. Everyone has the same amount of tires, laps on tires, and I think he's in good shape. But everything is going to be about the launch that they can get on the restart zone.
I want to talk about the choose rule right now, because they all been taking the top side. And last I've checked, 8 tires are better than 4. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little different on the choose situation here, maybe more of a defensive play on how to secure the lead. Because I thought last restart was going to be take, but the next one is going to be more. They're not choosing yet.
And they've been given the signal 5 laps to go in the race, and we've not been given 1 to go yet to the restart, and that's when you line up and make your decision on which lane you're going to go in. And if you were concerned about drivers hitting the box there, it's okay, because we weren't choosing yet. If you do that when the choose is in effect, then you are not going to be in a good place, and someone's going to tell you about it on the radio. And here's another thought as we get ready for this final restart. There's a bunch of guys up front that have not won this season. 4 races, 4 different winners. Does someone repeat, namely Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, or A.J. Allmendinger? They're the ones that maybe are in position, or do we get another fresh face and make it 5 for 5?
Well, you have 2 guys there on Allgaier and Hemrick. Both of them, they're hungry to win. And if I was in either one of those 2 seats, I would take a chance. Why not, like Joey say, use 8 tires? or also, try to get a good launch on the restart zone.
A good lunch? Did you say a good lunch?
Lounge. How you say that?
Launch.
Yeah,
in American, that's launch.
A good arrancada,
I don't know that one.
Well, live good, strong on the restart zone, so they can be able to fight the 22, because the 22 is going to be hard to beat after the restart, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly right, Daniel. Getting your tires clean, getting a good launch is going to be key here for sure.
What's Allgaier thinking here?
And I hate to give their front row up, but you have to get ugly to beat them.
Yeah, simple. I agree with that, unfortunately.
I mean, it says get ugly. I mean, he's saying that he was going to need to move him around to get the spot. I think that kind of shows that the 7's probably going to take the top in the second row. And then the third place car is probably going to take the front row, which will be Hemrick, with a shot to win.
It's everything about timing, on that restart. If the 18 can do the right timing and being able to shortcut the dogleg and being able to slide into corner 1, I think that is going to be the money half a lap.
So Cindric and Allgaier both go to the outside lane. Hemrick jumps down inside. Gibbs down on the inside lane as well. I don't know, can Gibbs maybe give Hemrick, his teammate, a shove here and help him out? And just how aggressive is Allgaier willing to get? Understanding he doesn't have a win this year. He doesn't have a top 10 finish. Average is 26.5, and he knows I can erase all that with a win today, locking himself into the playoffs. There's going to be 2 laps to go in regulation when we go green.
And I'm with you, Daniel. I really think, if Hemrick gets a good launch here, I mean, and shortcuts that front dog leg, you could see one heck of a slide job down into turn 1 trying to clear to 22. This is going to be something here. It's all going to be about cleaning those rear tires up and getting through the gears.
Let's see what you got.
Time to settle it at Phoenix. A bobble from Hemrick. And Cindric jumps to the race lead.
Whoa.
Allgaier looking to the outside. We got one in the wall. That's Justin Haley. Will it produce a caution? Hemrick in the wall as well.
Oh,
Allgaier pops it. Cindric gets away, and he just hopes to see the white flag before we see the yellow. And the white flag is out. 1 lap to go in Phoenix, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
What about that 68 car, eh? 3rd place right now.
Ty Gibbs up to 2nd. Can he do anything with Austin Cindric? Off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. He won the championship here in November. What a start to the year for Austin Cindric. Can he hang on? Off the corner, Gibbs is there. Can't make it happen. 2nd win of the year for Cindric.
Win, man.
Oh, and everyone is wrecking. What a job of that 22 team. They did a very, very fast race car right there.
Victory lane.
Wow. I need to see a restart.
Great job.
A replay of that restart. Unbelievable. Everybody was in the wall at the same time. It was hard to watch what happened, but what an amazing job with Team Penske again with Austin Cindric. A very smooth day. Let's watch this restart one more time here. You see the 18 of Hemrick, not the best to start. You see it wiggle a little bit there, wheel spin. And then the 54 of Ty Gibbs trying to make the pass. Right here, we're 4 wide, 5 wide.
5 wide.
6 wide maybe. And right here, I thought Justin Allgaier did a great job of getting to the outside of the 22. And then just, once again, gets too high. Gets into the dirty part of the traction compound and hits the wall.
Listen, I give credit to the 7 because he was going for it. He was going for it, and he just pushed a little bit too hard.
It's impressive he got out there. And especially going for it. Jeb Burton on the bottom in the 10. He went for it into the corner for sure.
Justin Haley,
oh my God, everyone's
another driver
right there.
that went wide. You see the tire smoke there on the 11. Let's ride with him.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time for him.
Snyder, Harrison Burton, J.J. Yaley right there. Yaley ended up 12th on the day. Listen to some of these names in the top 10. Brandon Brown was 3rd. Riley Herbst got to the top 5. Allmendinger top 5. Bailey Curry was 7th. Career best for him. And that 3rd for Brandon Brown, a career best as well.
And without a left side mirror, man.
He didn't want to see what was going on behind him. Trust me. Very cool. New sponsor on that car, too.
Allgaier ends up 8th today. Jamie?
Led 32 laps. Justin Allgaier pushing it right there. It looked like it was going to be in your favor, Justin. Could you have done anything different?
No, just disappointing there. You know, we got to his outside, and I thought we had it, and he just got me up out of the PJ1 and into the marbles. And unfortunately, the wall comes up quick when you're above the PJ1. But just proud of these guys, everybody at Junior Motorsports and this brand professional agriculture team. We didn't fire off the race the way we wanted to, and we rallied. We had incredible pit stops on pit road all day, and just made good adjustments, and made our way to the front. And I learned a lot, I think, for when we come back here in the fall. Hopefully, we're in that Final Four. So, hats off to all the guys, everybody back at the shop that's working hard. Hi to my daughter and my wife back at home, and we'll be home and go get ready for Atlanta next week.
Austin Cindric climbs out of his race car. Austin, you had to fend off a late race restart from the 7 car, Justin Allgaier. He got to your outside. What were you thinking at that moment?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a role reversal from the last time here. He obviously got a really great restart and stuck at top of 3 there, and just fighting for track position, and came away with a win here with the Car Shop Ford Mustang. Awesome to have them on board for this season and get the pink and white colors in victory lane.
2 straight wins at Phoenix for you. Did you send a message for later this year today?
Look, it's data points. I mean, you have to work hard the rest of the year to get here. So that's where my focus is, and I got my name on the wall right there, and the goal is to be back with a shot to do it again.
Austin Cindric, your winner, Xfinity at Phoenix.
Regan, it's the second win of the year, the third time he's won in the last 6 races dating to last year. Daniel, Joey, your final thoughts on a wild finish in the desert.
You just got to be close. That's what I've learned here today. Being close to the front on the final restart, you know chaos is going to happen, especially on old tires like you saw there. If you were in the hunt, you can get a top 5 finish, even if you were 10th or 12th on that final restart. So complete chaos, a great job by everybody, trying to get everything they could. No one was patient, that's for sure. Everyone got all they can get at the end.
It was a lot of fun to watch. I knew that the launch, the launch on that restart was going to be super important. The 7 did it right. The 7 did it perfect. I thought he was going to have it, but the 22 he was very, very strong, and he's confident here, man. 2nd win in a row, 1 championship. He's going to come back here, and he's going to be strong.
And he's now got 10 career wins, 3rd youngest to 10 wins behind Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. Guys, great job today. Good luck in the race tomorrow, all right?
Thank you very much. We'll take all the luck we can after watching that one. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Perhaps more of the same. Our coverage tomorrow starts 2 o'clock Eastern time with race day on FS1. We're over to Fox at 3 o'clock. Congratulations to Austin Cindric, 2nd win of the season as the reigning champ. Tomorrow, Cup Series racing presented by Ram. Now let's go to Michael Waltrip's documentary. It's The Blink of an Eye on FS1. Good night, everybody.